Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. This is part 20 of our initial run through the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. And real quick, I should say that starting last part, there was actually an update. I was going to say it then, but I forgot. But it was 1.12.3, which didn't seem like a massive update. I only really skimmed through the patch notes, but from what I remember, there were only like 2 or 3 notable things. But anyways, speaking of the last part, we started at the church district entrance. We got to the tree worship passage. We got to the storehouse loft and back station, along with the sunken chapel. And I don't remember there being any bosses in that part, but there were 2 ulcerated tree spirits. And in that part, we also got the Fire Knight's Greatsword, a colossal sword. Though this was not a guaranteed drop, it was a chance drop. We also got the Fire Knight seal, a mostly faith-based seal that boosts Mesmer's Flame incantations, and the Dueling Shield. Or I think we got a shield at least. Might have been Carrion Thrusting Shield. I actually don't know. But what I do know is that we got the Mantle of Thorns sorcery, which turns us into this. And let's do damage as we roll into enemies. Kind of like the Briar armor set, or the set of thorns if you're more used to Dark Souls. We also got the Death Mask Helm, which reduces FP used to summon spirits. And that's how long that sorcery lasts. But here it says 123 FP with it on. But if we take it off, it still says 123, so I don't know how much it changes. Or if I'm thinking of different spirits. Could be either one of those. But that's the sorcery we got. For incantations, we got Wrath from Afar, which has very good range, as you can see there. We also got Fire Serpent, which sends a ball into the air right next to you, and then it chases after an enemy. How useful that is, I do not know, but it is something that the enemies have been using, like the Fire Knight enemies, to somewhat decent effect. So take that as you will. But here we are starting from the Shadowkeep back gate set of grace. And we can summon Mimic here. Oh. Commander Gaius. And ooh. Alright, so he has a very unique weapon, I can already see. And he's on a giant boar. And that looked like gravity magic. And okay. So we can do this. Now, it could just be because I'm new to the fight. Like this is my first time trying it. I was about to say, but that charging attack felt difficult to dodge. But again, that could just be because it was my first attempt, and I wasn't expecting a boss. That went on for a bit. That was doing waves. And explosions. Yeah. That feels like it has very little time. Or like a very short window. Oh. Alright, yeah. Yeah, he's aggressive there. Ooh. That was just attack after attack after attack after attack. So, we're definitely going to have to learn the timing on when it's okay to heal. But yeah, suddenly this field of weapons makes a lot more sense. Good. And get some health back with that. And, sir, you're behind a wall. Sir, you're behind a wall. I don't know what you want from me. Was he trying to do the charge that entire time? Alright, yeah, so that... Yeah, that's one of those Elden Ring things where they deliberately have off-kilter timings just to throw you off. Which I've said before, I don't have a problem with that conceptually, but I feel like it should be more of an individual thing. Boss is down. 230,000 runes. Right. But, like I said, I don't have a problem with the off-kilter timings deliberately meant to catch people from like instinctually rolling. But something I've noticed is Elden Ring does it a lot. And I feel like they do it a bit too much because if it was something like Margit and Moog, then being off kilter is part of their character, especially for Morgott. So, especially for Morgott, it's like he's trying to go out and hunt the Tarnished and kill the Tarnished. That's a big part of his thing. And so, of course, he would deliberately fight weird. Like, he would absolutely go out of his way to fight weird. But when you have, like, normal enemies doing it, which obviously that's not a normal enemy, but when you have normal enemies doing off-kilter attacks, then it can feel kind of weird. But I haven't been noticing it too much in the DLC. Outside of the Putrescence Knight, I think they were called, in St. Trina's area. So I think it's fine here. And then we got the Remembrance of the Wild Boar Rider. A remembrance of Commander Gaius hewn into the Scadutree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. Both were as elder brothers to the lion, and both were cursed from birth. In spite of, or perhaps because of this very reason, Gaius was both Mesmer's friend and the leader of his men. Alright, so we can favorite that and then head off to the Finger Reader to see what rewards we can get out of that. Oh yeah, initial thoughts on the boss. As a fight, I'd say like low to mid B tier, but I can definitely see like fighting them multiple times and gaining knowledge on them. I can definitely see them going up to like a mid A tier.
Don't see it.
Let's see. Gaius' helm, Gaius' armor, Gaius' gauntlets. I don't see any pants for him. Look for this. Sword Lance, which is a strength-based, heavy thrusting sword, pure physical damage. A weapon once used by Commander Gaius, a combination of greatsword and lance. It looks very cool. But weighty and capable of being brought to bear with great force, this armament shows its true potential when used astride a mount. So it's best used on horseback. Gaius himself was never without his boar. And then it already has the Ash of War spinning gravity thrust on it, but that doesn't mean that it's the normal Ash of War. But skill, spinning gravity thrust, a gravity skill honed by the disciples of an Alabaster Lord, uses gravitational power to hang in the air before rotating the body and charging forward. An additional input allows for a follow-up attack. Or you can get the Blade of Stone sorcery, which takes 48 intelligence and 18 FP, which summons rock blades from the earth. Gravity manipulating sorcery of Commander Gaius pulls blade-like clumps of rock from the earth. Charging increases potency. Gaius and Radon were good rivals in their youth, and this sorcery is a product of their friendly competition. So obviously I can't speak to either of these. I'm going to get this one, by the way. But I can't speak to how good they are, because I haven't used them, obviously. But conceptually, they're both very cool. Let's see. Ashes of War if we were to take this off, we would get impaling thrust. Okay. And then let's look at his armor set. So, pretty good defensively, actually. Not as good as the Beast Champion set. At least not for physical. Kind of weird that it doesn't have pants. Which...
Don't see.
I'm not seeing pants here, so... I guess he just went without pants. Alright, so all three of these have the same. So the black iron helm of Commander Gaius, part of an armor set pattern after fallen seeds. Gaius was the most senior disciple of the same Alabaster Lord who taught Radon and Gaia gravitational technique. Gaea. I don't know who that is. Unless it means like Gaia, Mother Earth from Greek mythology. But I don't think an Alabaster Lord taught the Earth. But we can run over here where there's not tall grass, and then we can look at this thing's moveset. So starting off with the normal light attack combo. So poke, 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 slash, poke. And then heavy attacks. It's a poke and a poke. Even holding it, it's a poke and a poke. Rolling, it's an upward poke. Running light, it's a poke. Running heavy, it's an extended poke. Jump light, it's a poke. Jump heavy, it's a slam into the ground poke. Two-handed light, it's 5 pokes. Two-handed heavies, it's bigger pokes. Rolling, it's an upward poke. Running light, it's a poke. Running heavy, it's an extended poke. Jump light, poke. Jump heavy, slam down to the ground. Not the most versatile in terms of moveset, but again, the weapon looks cool. And I can see both of those boss rewards from the Remembrance. I can see both of them being used. So again, haven't tested out the damage of the weapon or the sorcery at all, obviously. But on a conceptual level, they seem cool. And I can see them being used. Elbenoric Shack. You get Sharp Shot Talisman, which looks very cool. These people again. I want nothing to do with you. Oh, Gaius' Greaves. Well, there they are. Black iron greaves made for Commander Gaius, a cruel joke for he could not wear them. Riding atop the boar he called his other half Gaius was in fact a warrior of Elbenoric extraction. Huh. Anyways, for that Sharp Shot Talisman here, boost attack power with precision aimed shots. A talisman depicting an archer wielding a longbow boosts attack power with precision aimed shots. The Elbenoric archers were in a class of their own, and their deadly long-range specialists struck fear into the hearts of men. So precision aim, I don't have any on me. Like, I don't have any bows to show it off. I lied, I do have a bow. Oh, that was a deer. I got scared for a minute. Alright, but it means this. Where when you two-hand a bow and then you press the shield button, which for me is L1, you like zoom in and you get this little crosshair thing. That's precision aiming. So you do that and it increases the damage, I would assume. Alright. I know that a lot of people hate bows or think that bows are bad. And I was not expecting to be able to go around the back. And I don't know if this is where I should be. Scadutree Chalice. Lots of goodies there. So I'm assuming this is, if we followed the main path, that we would end up here. Kinda looks like it. Really looks like it. Okay, good to know. But I actually used a bow in a somewhat recent run. I didn't record it, but in a run where I was preparing for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Because I made a handful of characters. And in one of them, I used a longsword. Well, I used two longswords to, like, dual wield. And then the long bow. And it was actually pretty good. The damage kind of fell off near the end of the game, but for the most part, it was actually pretty decent. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 5 Scadutree fragments. And a giant bowl. So that seems like everything here. I still don't know how to get out here. I was kind of hoping that we could get out from here. But it doesn't really look like it. So, this is... Oh yeah. I forgot about this. That's why I favorite every site of grace that I'm going to come back to, or that I haven't fully explored, because I know that I'll forget. Screenshot potential. Right, but we're not concerned with screenshots during recordings. I can come back later for them. There's like wind or something going through here. And it's ever so slightly unsettling. Also, these are, like, this is a Stake America. Iris of Grace. Nothing mind the statue. And in the base game, these were all very small. I thought that was a snake. I was gonna go, Mesmer. But I think it's just a piece of the garb. But they've all been very small in the base game. the stakes America. But here in the DLC, they're massive. Speaking of America, also poison section. Good to see you here. So we need 3, we have 2. And we have now gotten to 60 points into the health stat. 1,900 HP, so we're done with this. And I'm not leveling up Arcane or Intelligence. Faith is fine. Endurance is mostly fine. I'm either going to do Strength or Dex next, probably. Not 100%, but probably. Scadutree base. And we cannot pull out Torrent. Oh. I was looking at these flowers and I was going, hey, those are crafting materials, but no. Also, I thought this was poison, but it is not. I like how it ripples, though. Anyways, I don't know where to go, and if you don't know where to go, go left. I say that partially because I am left-handed, and partially because that advice actually works strangely well in Bloodborne. Like, it is oddly consistent of going left almost always works. And I kind of feel like it shouldn't, but it does. Right. And the goopy, ripply, liquidy substance, whatever you want to call it. Like, at first I thought it was poison, which was why I wanted to get on Torrent. But it's not that. But it can't be something that, like, erodes your durability. Because standing this makes me so nervous, and I don't know why. Because it's not having any negative effects. Like, there's no negative effects, but it still feels like something bad is gonna happen if I go in there. Maybe I'm gonna get invaded. Which I'm playing offline, so it would be an NPC invasion, but still. Just doing a quick perimeter check. A very, very quick perimeter check where we very much take our time and don't rush things whatsoever. And keep an eye on every direction that isn't behind us. Because we've already been behind us. So it's probably a safe direction. But so tragic. Anyways, so I was wrong about this being a poison swamp. At least in the concept of it proccing poison. I see a bridge on the map, so we have to do it. I really don't want to go out into the middle, but there's a big thing in the middle and all the flowers seem to be pointing towards it. Not for long. Yeah, that's where we were. I forgot, we can just roll through those. But I guess we'll do this. I just realized the bridge might be above us, but I can't see that high up. Scadutree Avatar. Ow. Well. Sir, you're being very impolite. Alright, this does way more damage. Probably because you're a plant and probably weak to fire, which would very much make sense. Ow. Oh, hi. There's your head. Oh, that's a grab attack. Alright. Ow. You have thorn attacks? What is this? Also, you're a plant, but it looked like you could move, which was a bit strange. They weren't going away, so I was a little worried there was going to be a phase 2. Well, there's a phase 2. So, I mean, my fears have been realized, I suppose. The boss isn't that difficult, though. I say as they take over half my health. I rolled too early. You know, maybe saying the boss is easy was... Maybe that's something I shouldn't have done. Because I'm not at full health. And I am down to 3 flasks. I'm down to 2 flasks. And I'm out of flasks. And they actually have a surprising bit of mobility. And there you go. It's gonna spawn another one, isn't it? Yep. I don't think I can get out of here alive. Yeah. I think we have to just accept death. Because I am out of flasks. So... I don't know what you're supposed to do there. Unless it's just... 3? Like, unless you just have to kill 3 of them. Or... Unless there's, like, some kind of special item you need. Because we are very close to the Scadutree. Yeah, that's almost directly off to the right. Alright, but... I'm going to summon Mimicked here on this one. I'm going to get rid of Taker's cameo for non-physical damage. We're going to get rid of Bless Do for holy damage. Yeah. That was half my health. That was over half my health. Look how much damage they can do. I didn't know what they were doing. If the answer is just 3 of these things, then that would be a little bit disappointing. Unless you have to do something with one of the corpses. So please, that's so rude. I feel like I dodged it every single time. But, alright. I do like how you can either lock onto the head or the body. That's a nice bit of variety. I feel like I rolled too early on that second one, but wasn't punished for it. Ew. So please. So please. Oh, we got a critical. Oh, the critical starts this one off with less HP. That's cool. Just a little thing to help you out. But I'm starting to think that maybe it is just kill 3 because all 3 have different attacks. Also, sir, please stop. That is so incredibly rude. I'm just trying to exist. These Scadutree Avatars have very little chill for being a plant. Okay. 260,000 runes, Remembrance of the Shadow Sunflower, and Miquella's Great Rune. So it was just kill the plant 3 times. If I had known that, I wouldn't have summoned Mimic Tear. Because I summoned Mimic Tear partially as a distraction, partially to see if we could just keep killing them forever. Also, tragic. So, still don't know how to get up to here then. Because that's just a wall. Unless we can now, like, enter the Scadutree. Alright, so initial thoughts on the boss. I'd say, like, overall, I would say, like, mid C tier to low B tier. Conceptually, I would say, like, high B tier. But I'm just not a fan that you had to go through it 3 times. Because, I mean, 60 points into the health stat, 45 into strength, 27 into dex, 42 into faith. Using a weapon that has C scaling in strength and dex and B in faith. And at plus 10, so at the highest upgrade. And Beast Champion set, and then Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, and on the second attempt, Pearl Drake Talisman plus 3 and Hella Drake Talisman plus 2. So I had a lot of health, a lot of defense, a lot of damage, and I mean, obviously, your first attempt going through a boss is going to be one of your worst, since you lack the knowledge to properly take them on. But I don't know, just that didn't feel like a 3 health bar boss to me. Like, 2 I can kind of see, but 3...
Don't well see it.
3 is a lot. Alright, so you can get the Shadow Sunflower Blossom, which is a strength faith based colossal weapon with physical and holy damage. The head of the monstrous Shadow Sunflower manifestation of the Scadutree. Then again, it might just be a flower wielded as a weapon. Much like the Scadutree itself in appearance, the second stalk winds tightly around the first, almost as if in a tender embrace. Unique skill. Shadow Sunflower Headbutt. Slam down the blossom of a large Shadow Sunflower, sending out a shockwave that flattens foes. Repeated inputs allow for up to 2 follow-up attacks. Or a Land of Shadow, an incantation that takes 58 faith and 40 FP. Fires a hail of golden projectiles towards foes, which is an attack it did. Incantation originating from Scadutree Avatars. Creates a hail of golden projectiles which are fired towards foes after a brief delay. This incantation channels the force of the Scadutree's power, and its gold is accompanied by shadow. I'm gonna get this one because I have 42 faith, so getting kind of close to it. Alright, but... So, pretty obviously that's supposed to be like the counterpart to the Erdtree avatars. And I would say, from a visual design perspective, it's way, way, way better. From a gameplay perspective, I'd say that they're trying to do two very different things. And I can see the appeal of both. But when it comes to which one I would rather fight, personally, I'd rather fight the Erdtree avatars. Because they very much feel like a dance. And it's one that I really enjoy, whereas that didn't... I mean, it might have a rhythm to it, but I didn't feel a rhythm to it. And it just didn't feel as fluid or natural to fight. It didn't feel bad by any means, but again, I think the 3 health bars just kind of wears you down. Because imagine fighting an Erdtree avatar that has 3 health bars, where you fully kill one, and then a second one shows up, and then you fully kill the second Erdtree avatar, and then a third Erdtree avatar shows up that you have to kill. Like, whew. And remember, my first time, like, the first attempt, I was completely out of flask by the time that the third one even showed up. And you could say, oh, well, it's your first run through, it's your first attempt, it was your first time ever seeing the boss, and first try, which is absolutely true. Yeah, I really don't see how to get to here. I really want to know how to get to here. Maybe this is like an underground section. I don't know. I also don't know how to get to here. I mean, there's this one viaduct miner tower, so I think that's all that's left. We can head over here. I'm not gonna explore anything new. We're gonna end it in a minute. But yeah, I feel like the 3 health bars was just a wee bit too much. Because, I mean, for most of the other bosses, I've had NPC summons, which have helped. But, like, the lion boss over here, I beat first try. Yeah, it was with Freya and a Mimic here, but that felt like a boss that should be a lot harder. Because that felt like a story boss. I mean, it had its own cutscene, it had the big theatrics, like lightning, frost, all sorts of craziness. They were twirling in circles. They had like a storm attacks and everything. Like, it was a pretty crazy fight. It should have been difficult. And it was difficult. But it felt easier than the Scadutree Avatar, which was just like a plant. And if it's like the Erdtree avatars, it's basically just supposed to protect it, but the Erdtree avatars are pretty easy. Like I said, I like the flow and the rhythm of their fight, not the difficulty. But they're not anything super special. They're all over the place in the base game. And so I would assume that these would be relatively the same. They're not super special, they're not particularly strong. They're meant to be just like a defense mechanism for a tree. And so, why was it harder than the lion boss, who got a cutscene and a massive, explosive, super theatrical phase 2? Why was it significantly more difficult than Commander Gaius, who rides around on a boar and has a great lance and gravity magic? I'm trying to think of the other bosses. So, you're still there. You're still there. I would say out of all the bosses that I've fought so far, they felt like the second most difficult, only behind Mesmer. Like, they felt a lot more difficult than they should have. Not because they were actually difficult. I mean, I was being hit a lot, but that's mostly because just I lack knowledge. But I feel like, and I mean, that's completely fair. Like, that's to be 100% expected. But I feel like where the difficulty, the part that I didn't enjoy came from, was the 3 health bars. Again, I feel like it should have been 2. But with that being said, we can go talk to these 2 NPCs and then we can end it. I don't imagine they'd have, or I don't imagine this one would have anything new to say. Message from Lita. Oh yeah, Mikola's Great Rune. Oh, it's reusable. Retains naught but the power to resist charms. A great rune relinquished by Mikola, broken and bereft of its bounty. It retains naught but the power to resist charms. Mikola set off for the tower enshrouded by shadow. Okay. Abandoning everything, his golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate. All in an effort to bury the original sin, to embrace the whole of it, and be reborn as a new god. So it's saying that so is that for Saint Trina? We can go check it out, but first, a message left by Needle Knight Lita addressed to the kindred spirits who also pursue Mikola's trail. Dane passed on a message. The sealing tree is in the ancient ruins of Rau. It lies beyond the high bridge leading to the first floor of the storehouse. I will join you there once I finished the task at hand. So would she not be here anymore? Because it still says she's here, but maybe that just hasn't updated. Maybe we need to go here to update that. Nope, she's still here. Hello.
Ah, there you are. Well fought. You have my gratitude. He was never going to see eye to eye with us, but his words were ill-founded. It was hard to hear, I know.
Alright, so that's in reference to killing the horn scent. Lacerating cross tree. Enhances dash attacks. Handicraft depicting a golden cross tree, one of the items conferred to the Needle Knights, enhances dash attacks. Is that running attacks? I don't know. But long ago, the Needle Knights were in service of Mikola, but now they are no more, save for one.
I know I shouldn't let myself, but I suppose it's only natural to feel the weight of one's deeds at times like these. There's plenty left to be done, and I will see to it. Who else, I wonder? I don't enjoy casting suspicion on anyone I've called a comrade, but it's a small sacrifice in the grand scheme of things. We must eradicate all doubt.
I'm not loyal to Mikola, but you are a fellow light greatsword user, so you got my sword.
Who else, I wonder? I don't enjoy, but it's a small...
Alright, but I'm gonna end it here. So, we started off at, I believe, Tree Worship Sanctum? Or, I don't know. Or Shadowkeep Batgate, one of the two. But we fought Commander Gaius, we got a talisman here, we got 5 Scadutree blessings at the Scadutree Chalice, and we fought the Scadutree Avatar. 2, I would say, decent bosses, though I do have a few minor problems with the Scadutree Avatar. But we got Gaius's armor set, we got the sword lance, we got the sharp shot talisman, we got the Land of Shadow incantation, the lacerating cross tree, and Mikola's Great Rune. So, pretty good progress today, and yeah.